All right, I'm going to do my best to explain this stuff, but I want to talk about the two pillars in the Kabbalistic tree of life because I think this stuff is really important. And after what I saw last night in the movie Ghostbusters, this is real deal stuff. And also from KJ's new video, but we'll get into that in just a second. But I'm new to all this stuff, so please bear with me. I'm going to explain it the best I can, but you never know what day they're going to pull the plug on the net. And I think this stuff really should get out there because I think it's super important. So first of all, let me start off with this. This is the Kabbalistic tree of life, okay? This is what the Rich Dummy Club uses to run the reality and run the universe, all right? It's a schematic of how this whole world works, scientifically, mechanically, mathematically, spiritually, all that stuff, okay? And it's a real deal. It's the Masons know all about this thing. If you just type in Masonic two pillars, you'll see all sorts of different variations of this whatever this is, machine, because we don't know if this is what the thing looks like or if this is just a representation because we're not part of the club. But they are very familiar with this, and this is no secret to them. Even Trayvon Martin's dad, everybody knows this picture, standing right in the middle of it. These are the two pillars. Your Masonic compass. It's also made of the Masonic compass, which is your square, your circle, and your triangle. Okay, your square is your doorway to the other side of space, to the other side. Okay, your triangle, your pyramid, is your straight and narrow path. All right, which is why it's brick, because it's a road, it's a path, and your circle is your gateway, your portal out of here. All right. So this is real deal stuff. They know all about this thing. Okay. There are three pillars, but right now the third pillar is broken. And when the third pillar was broken, which they broke it, either whether it was intentionally or they were tricked, I don't think we know really. But whenever it was broken, everything in the whole, we got cut off from God. Our direct connection was cut off as well. So now they are standing in for God. They are standing in for the third pillar. That's why you see all your world leaders, they usually talk in between two flags or two light poles, or sometimes they're actually in their Masonic buildings and they actually do talk between two pillars or two columns. And that's why they also, with your ministers and your priests, that's why they stand behind podiums, because podiums, that's what it is. It's a broken pillar. So they are standing in for the third pillar, and now there's a right pillar and a left pillar. And it's a red pillar and a blue pillar, because the Masons have a blue lodge and a red lodge, okay? They put this stuff in TV shows and movies and all this stuff all the time. Here's Tracy Morgan standing in between them right here. Here's a freaking Muppet commercial standing in for him right here. It's just all the same thing. It's all representation of this Kabbalistic tree of life. Now, the problem this poses, this is what the problem is that now we go like this. We go round and round, back and forth between the two pillars. We're stuck between the two pillars, but they are stuck too. So they're trying to get the third pillar to work. They're standing in while they're trying to make this whole thing work so they can open up this doorway and let out their masters, Saturn, Satan, or whatever, and the fallen angels, and bring out this complete takeover, this total control, one world system on the planet Earth. That's what they're trying to do. So since they broke the pillar, we keep going back and forth between these two pillars when we really want to go down the straight and narrow path that Jesus talked about between the two pillars, which is what they call jumping the rainbow road. It's like using both sides of your brain at the same time. So this thing is real. And also with the red and blue pillars, you mix those two together and you get purple. That's the color of the fallen ones in Saturn and Satan. That's because it represents the androgyny. It's a combination of the red and the blue. So that's why your hexagon or your cube on the north pole of planet Saturn, which is Satan, is purple, because it's the combination. It's to represent the androgyny, because what these things are doing is they're mocking God, because they themselves are androgynous. So they are trying to make us in their image and mock God. That's why your male celebrities are wearing skinny jeans and skirts and have long hair and wear makeup and have jewelry and wear jewelry and earrings and all this kind of stuff, because they're trying to make us in their image, which is androgynous. So this whole thing, these pillars, right? This tree of life, I've showed you before. If you're new to my videos, my channel here, it looks like this. It looks like a keyhole when you etch around it, okay? And that's why the Vatican is set up as a keyhole. They know all about this stuff. They know exactly what's going on, okay? So in this movie Ghostbusters, right, the whole thing is is Rick Moranis and Sigourney Weaver. They get possessed by these demons, and Rick Moranis calls himself the Keymaster, and Sigourney Weaver calls herself the Gatekeeper, and they're trying to get together so they can open up the doorway and let out the monsters to terrorize and destroy New York City. That's the plot of the movie. And Rick Moranis even calls them prisoners, because that's what these fallen ones are. They're trapped in a prison, some kind of ice glass crystal prison that's like a cube somewhere under the Antarctic somewhere. And they're trying to let them out because they're prisoners and bring their total takeover upon the earth. Their hell on earth upon the earth. Here it is. The pillars are dark. It's hard to see them, but they're right there. It's the same thing. I mean, you can't tell me that this thing is not the same thing as this. The light is even coming down the same way. So they are telling you all day long in this movie, I mean, they shove it in your face saying, hey, we're really trying to do this. We are really trying to create this ark. Here it is. Let me show you. Here it is. They create this ark somehow on this machine, on this tree of life. It's all the same thing. They create this ark. They open up this vortex, this portal, and these things come through. And remember I was telling you just about how they're androgynous? In the movie, this thing called Gozer. That's what Sigourney Weaver says. I need to get with the Keymaster because I'm the gatekeeper and let out Gozer. And this thing comes out whenever they open up the ark. They open up the door. This thing called Gozer comes out, and it looks like a woman, but you never really figure it out because you never really can tell. And Dan Aykroyd says, wow, we thought it was a man. It's a woman. And Egon says, it's whatever it wants to be. And that's exactly right. It's androgynous. It's both. It's whatever it wants to be. It's crazy stuff. This is not by mistake. This is not coincidence. This is the exact same picture. It's a real thing. The ancients, it's in all sorts of artifacts. Mr. McCleary talks about it all the time, talks about the vortex. Every ancient culture and every civilization in every part of the world, every continent has this documented. They even quote Revelation 7:12 in the movie. Talk about the sky turning black and a great earthquake and all this stuff. And about these monsters being let loose who terrorize and destroy New York City. And this is it right here. And this, wait, let me show. I got even one better for you. This is amazing because I didn't know what I was looking at. So thank you very much to KJ because he put this in his new video. And I saw these pictures a long time ago, but I didn't know what I was looking at. And this leads even more validity to it. This stuff is really going to happen, as spooky as it is. And in the movie, it takes place at the top of some big, tall skyscraper in New York City, which would be perfect for the One World Trade Center. I tell you that right now. But these are pictures from the St. John's Divine Cathedral in New York City. Is the 4th largest Christian church in the world. And it depicts the apocalypse. Here's water or fire, as you can see, destroying the city. There's a bridge and what looks like a bus or something going down, plunging into, and a bunch of cars plunging into some fire or water. There's the 4 horses of the apocalypse. And there's them being let out. There's the vortex. That's not by mistake. Because here, did you notice there in that picture? You see it up top here? That's the portal opening up. That's them being let loose. Or the birth of the new age. Whatever you want to. It's all the same thing. It's the return of the golden age of Saturn. These things are going to be let loose. Now, people are saying they're already here. They're just waiting to officially announce them. That could be. I don't know. And supposedly that's why the weather is doing what it's doing. I have no idea if that's true or not. But all I can tell you is that it will happen if it hasn't happened already. And here it is, the whole thing that's causing this to happen. That's them being let loose. Here it is. There's the Kabbalistic tree of life. That's not coincidence. That's not mistake. That's not a prank. That's the gall darn thing that's going to cause all this stuff. It's right there in front of your faces. That ain't no darn joke. I had no idea that's what this thing was when I first saw these pictures. I mean, this blows my mind. And even in Ghostbusters, the very beginning of the movie, that movie tells you everything that's going to happen. You should watch it if you haven't checked it out recently. At the very beginning of the movie, when they're even introducing the Ghostbusters, Bill Murray is first, and he's holding up a flash card, and it's an upside down black star. It's the Baphomet right off the bat, and the black star, dark star, is the planet Saturn. It's Satan. It's all the same. They tell you straight off from the get-go. They open up this ark. They activate the third pillar somehow using CERN, smashing light. They create this portal, this vortex, and out come these things. Now you know why people like Katy Perry is taking pictures with little vortex rainbow lollipops. Because see, this is the third pillar. That's them opening the portal. Or like from Willy Wonka, these are all, these huge. Now you know why these big lollipops have the spirals in them. It's crazy stuff, everybody. But I mean, it's just no. I mean, I'm not even going to. I'm sorry. You can't. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is just coincidence. That this thing isn't this thing when it looks exactly like it, or that this thing isn't this thing in the movie that talks about the release of the demons from the other side and the satanic takeover and destruction of the planet Earth. An apocalyptic biblical situation that they say. That's this exact same thing. Case closed all the way. So I just wanted to share this with everybody. Wild stuff. Thanks to all my teammates and subs. Thanks to everybody for staying with me and having an open mind. And we'll try to learn more because I don't think we're done yet. I think this is just the beginning. So eyes on that One World Trade Center that's making them spooky noises because it looks like it may indeed be the place where these things are let out. I don't know if they're not are here already. So we'll see. Thanks to everybody for watching as always. Thanks to my teammates and subs. See you later. Great job to KJ on this video because I really appreciate him because this really was a big piece of the puzzle to me. So I'm really glad that I seen this now. So thanks everybody. Thanks again, KJ.